Hi everyone, hope you're all doing super well, taking care of yourselves, all that sort of mumbo jumbo. I wanted to have a little yap session today and talk about a problem with Overwatch, but obviously I did make a video a couple of days ago talking, well not a couple of days, like a week ago or something like that, talking about Overwatch being in like its best state or it's really, really fun again, right? I do want to reiterate that yes, it's still in a really, really good state. The game is very, very fun. The gameplay of Overwatch is still good. We had Savasa rework today, we had New Junk City rework today, and those have been really good, right? New Junk City is just a map I absolutely did not like at all. Pre-rework, right? It was just way too closed in. So many characters and like close range would just get so much value. And I kind of just felt like you didn't really have a lot of place to run, especially on the first point, right? If you ever encountered the Venture on that map, you were in for an absolute nightmare, especially if you didn't have a CAS or if CAS was already banned or something like that, right? And now they've kind of fixed a lot of the issues with the map. It feels a lot more open. It feels a lot more safe to kind of like walk around without just getting jumped by someone. So that's really, really good. So whoever's been on the Overwatch map team, they've been absolutely cooking recently. They did the whole change to like Parisia where they made it easier for Lucio war running recently. There wasn't much talk about it, but they did do that recently. So, shout out to the Overwatch map team. The balance patch is also pretty decent. Some characters are still flying under the radar of not getting touched, but it is what it is, right? Now, anyways, enough about that. I wanted to talk about Overwatch's whole shop today because, man, this is some funky stuff going on. So we had the Radiant Angel Mercy OWCS crowdfunding bundle. You're out of the loop and more so like a casual and you don't really keep up with Overwatch Esports. Basically, they do a lot of these things around mid-season tournaments or grand final tournaments to basically help fund OWCS. Obviously, Overwatch Esports is it's kind of like a hard thing to kind of keep up. A lot of teams struggle to fund their players and support their players and all that sort of stuff. And this is a great step in the right direction where it's like players can buy a skin in game and it goes towards supporting the players. Now, I kind of don't really agree on how much the players get played because it's simply just, let's look at the Ember Juno skin, right? There was a one a while ago where, where is it? Okay. And they had this one in the shop, the Ember Juno skin. It was like a full-on bundle. You get this skin and it goes towards supporting the players. Now, Crazy Raccoon got 104k. The whole prize pool was 260k, which means they made about like $1 million based off the skin. And then 25% went to the rest of the prize pool, right? Honestly, I feel like a 50% prize pool wouldn't be too bad, honestly, but whatever. But yeah, going back to it, I think this is a really good idea, as always. I think it's really good to support the Overwatch Esports and help the players out because obviously, yeah, it's hard to kind of like stay financially stable in this sort of field, especially with Overwatch not really being a big esport as it used to be, especially with like the Overwatch League dying and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is really, really good. The problem is that I feel like it's a little bit too pricey, right? Obviously, Mercy players are going to buy this skin no matter what. I played so many games of ranked today that I pretty much, every time I saw a Mercy, I think I saw like 10 Mercies today, they always had this skin on, right? This was a skin that would easily sell like hotcakes. It's a well-done skin too, mind you. Elf ears, love that. Love that. The emote, it's cute. It's really nice. I really love the hairstyle they've done to her and all that sort of stuff. It's an absolute wonderful skin. The Overwatch team absolutely cooked with this as always, man. It's like Mercy skins, like, oh my goodness gracious. But here's my big problem with it is, yes, the price of it is 3,100 coins. And this is where I kind of come in here to give, like, obviously some big criticism is, we had the Ember Juno skin. This was, like 2,500 coins, right? We'd be like, oh, the items might be different or something like that. But I did a little bit of research because I was like, I swear not. And then, there's this video from iTalk, which was posted, 3 months ago, April 2nd, right? And this is the Ember Juno bundle. It has the legendary skin, an emote, a weapon charm, a name card, an icon, a spray, all for 2,500, 3,600 coins with 30% off. Now with the Mercy bundle, you have a skin, an emote, a weapon charm, a name card, a player icon, and a spray, which is only 3,100, and originally it was 3,600, and it's 13% off. So I don't really understand why the Ember Juno skin was discounted so heavily, and this skin isn't. Maybe it's just because they just know they'll make money off Mercy players or something like that. But it's kind of just really confusing, because this has kind of always been my big problem with Overwatch, is that their pricing for a lot of things just never really makes sense. It kind of just feels like they slap a random number on it and call it a day, right? Maybe they just have some data based on like who spends more money on Overwatch and all that sort of stuff. But, it's kind of like a big issue, right? And going on to this, you also have the OWCS partner team bundles, and also just, you're able to support some of your favorite teams / players by buying these skins. I feel like this is a great step in the right direction. It's similar to what the Overwatch League had. You've got all these teams here. Honestly, all these skins are absolutely wonderful. I really like how the Twist of Mind skins look. I really like how the T1 skins look, for example. Oh my gosh. The T1 skins look, for example. This skin for Ramatra looks absolutely sick. And now this comes down to like my big problem with these whole bundles and like OWCS stuff, because they've kind of been doing this for a while, and it's kind of hasn't really been called out, right? It's been like obviously mentioned on Twitter or something like that, but there hasn't really been much of a thing around it, right? Apologies, I had to pull up a page. But now this comes into another problem with this whole thing, is that I cannot buy these skins separately. There is no way currently to get these skins separately, right? If I want to get the Mercy skin, I have to pay 3,100 coins, right? If I want to get, you know, the new Ramatra skin, I can't get it. I have to pay, you know, either for the big bundle, which is 7,500 coins, or I pay 2,500, where I can get an Honor and Adventure skin. Maybe I don't want these skins for these two characters. Maybe I just want the Ram skin. Maybe I just want the Venture skin, or maybe I just want the Honor skin, right? Or maybe I just want like some of the other stuff here, which I do think there is separate bundles for, well, these are actually just for teams that just didn't get skins, it seems so far. Maybe they're getting something in the future. I'm not fully sure, right? Sorry, I'm not super kept up with Overwatch Esports. Now, this is kind of like my big problem, right? Is excluding a lot of stuff and only being like in bundles. There are some other games that do this as well, and I heavily dislike it in live service games, and I wish there was something done about it. And it's just like locking items behind bundles where it's just overly expensive. Now, the big issue is obviously, yes, you have the skins here, you have the weapon charm name card and all this sort of stuff. However, in the 7,500 coin bundle, you have emotes, which are only in this bundle. You have a Ramatra thumbs down or a Ramatra thumbs up. And I really want these Ramatra emotes because I want to be able to use them in my videos, but I cannot justify paying 7,500 coins for two emotes, which would really only cost me 1,000 coins or something like that, right? And on top of that, I'm pretty sure these emotes from Arda, for example, are a concept that was shown off way before Overwatch 2 was released, basically teased, because you were able to use like a thumbs up and a thumbs down thing in third person. I'm pretty sure they showed something like this in the Overwatch trailer a while back. Sorry, I had to burp. Now, your boy did a little bit of cheeky research, and I discovered that, yes, this was something that was shown off to us years ago. This was, you know, the like introducing thumbs up or thumbs down, another new cosmetic type in Overwatch 2. Now just kind of repurposed into an emote, which is honestly kind of a big shame, right? I'm glad that these things are, you know, not being scrapped and like thrown in the side or anything like that. But it's kind of a shame that, you know, a thing that was like going to be like weapon inspection or anything like that has kind of just been now just put to emotes and all that sort of stuff. And real quick, obviously this doesn't relate heavily to my video, but can we get a bigger emote wheel, bro? 4 emotes is not enough if we're going to add so much stuff to the game, man. Especially where I'm going to be like, should I pick the thumbs up or the thumbs down today, man? Let me just be able to get 8 items on my damn emote wheel, bro. It's driving me insane. But yeah, anyways, back to the topic at hand. I just don't think it's a good idea or really fair to lock this stuff behind bundles and put it at these insane prices. First off, 3,100 coins for me is between like $40 for me or something like that. And for a lot of people, that's expensive. That's very, very expensive. That's food, man, for like 2 days. And same thing with this bundle as well, being 7,500 coins. This is like $100 for me, bro. It's absolutely insane. And look, I'm not saying at the end of the day, the OWCS players should be making less money or anything like that. I want to support the OWCS players and all that sort of stuff. That's not what I'm trying to push across. I just feel like a lot of this stuff isn't really fair. More so just locking this stuff behind bundles where you can't really get it is really stupid. Which brings me on to my next point, which was a controversy a while back around a skin for Moira, which was Lilith Moira. This was a skin that was available in Season 7, I believe. This was locked behind a $40 Battle Pass bundle, like the Ultimate Battle Pass bundle, where you get like a skin, 2,000 coins, and then like some Battle Pass tier skips. It's a pretty decent bundle, but obviously some people just wanted the Moira skin. They didn't really care about the Battle Pass because, I mean, you know, there was this Hammond skin in it. Why would people want that? And anyways, moving on. Yeah, obviously people just wanted the Moira skin. That was kind of like the main interest that a lot of people had around this sort of stuff. And, you know, they just locked behind the bundle. A lot of people were complaining about it, and they kind of had to resort to buying the bundle to get the Moira skin. But now it's in loot boxes. Now it's obtainable through loot boxes, for example, which is really, really good. But they actually did respond to the whole controversy around this one, where, speaking of our shop, there was a bit of controversy at the start of the season with the placement of our latest Moira skin in the Ultimate Battle Pass bundle. Some players felt like it was the best skin of the season, and they were upset the only way to obtain this skin was purchase one of our highest priced bundles. We do sell an Ultimate Battle Pass every season with legendary skins, and will continue to do so. However, the lesson that we're taking from this moment is to make sure we provide more ways to acquire some of our most popular skins. So it's good to know that they, did respond to that sort of thing ages ago, right? But as it comes with like OWCS stuff, it kind of hasn't really felt like we can get obtain a lot of this stuff through separate means in the past. I don't think there's been any opportunity to get Ember Juno that I'm aware of, or I might be misremembering. Same with the Hanzo OWCS skin that also came out ages ago, where he kind of looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll see if I can find it really quick. Sorry. This one here, I don't think it's been obtainable ever since the OWCS championship. So it's like considered a rare skin, right? But yeah, that's kind of like my issue, and I'm kind of like pushing out a video here because I do want the Overwatch team to kind of just hope, well, more so just try and push to see, like, kind of just guaranteeing, like, hey, we'll be able to make these emotes available to people in future. Right now, like, we don't just want to fund like the OWCS prize pool, which is totally understandable and all that sort of stuff. But I'm kind of just personally not really a fan of just the lack of communication around this sort of thing. Personally, maybe I just want the Ram skin, and I don't really want all these other characters, but I'm kind of forced to pay 2,500 coins for a skin that, originally in my eyes, it's an epic skin, but to me, it's kind of just a recolor, right? It's just a very simple recolor of the default skin. Honestly, it feels like something that's like 500 coins. 500 cigarettes. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I was just making this video to kind of complain about it, right? Not really a fan of just locking things behind bundles. I really want this Ramatro mode, and I don't want to have to spend 7,500 coins for it, man. I want to use it in my videos. But yeah, hopefully I covered a good amount of stuff. Yeah. I can do this for free, by the way. I don't have to pay money for it. All right, take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Also, sorry if this comes off toxic. I just wanted to make this video to kind of just express my opinion and frustrations. Don't be toxic on my behalf. There's no reason to go out of your way to flame the Overwatch devs or anything like that. They probably don't have control of these sort of things, but I do want my voice to be heard. Okay, bye-bye.